Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be setting up the month of August in my half-letter Discbound planner. We'll decorate a monthly spread and a currently page in a rainbow back-to-school theme, so come plan with me. And I've got some PET tape here ready to go, along with some white paper tape, some various washi tapes, and this Happy Planner sticker book, which I'll pull from. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and lay down some wax paper and I will get started on this month's design. I'll be decorating both this monthly spread and also the back page as a currently page, as I mentioned in the intro. I got these two PET tapes at separate times from a shop called Journal Say. I have a lot of their stuff in my planner stash of goodies, and thought it might be kind of cute to do a rainbow theme with these various items. I do wish that these white outlined stickers off of the paper tape would be more clear than white, but we're going to make do with what we've got, and I'll see if I can do what I have envisioned, which is kind of maybe a border of some sort along the top and the bottom, maybe all the way around, with these items trying to match up with the colors behind them as like a rainbow. That's where my mind went when I started to plan out the spread. I've also got some different washi tapes here. Again, a lot of these have been in my stash for quite a while. This one has like a graph, but almost like an 80s feel of like different colored graph interlocking patterns. Just reminded me of like Saved by the Bell 80s vibes. So I thought that would be a good matchup with these other kind of back to school vibes I'm going with. And then we will see what else we want to pull in here. I will say at the end, I felt like this spread could have more done to it, but I was just kind of busy and tired, and I didn't feel like my creativity was at its peak when I was doing this layout. So I got some ideas after the fact to do, but I don't think I'm going to end up doing them. But I'll share them with you guys in case it's another level you want to take a spread similar to this. And I'll explain as things start to develop a little bit further. And as you can see, I already put the wax paper away. I just had an idea in mind and I didn't want to have to try to move the stickers from the wax paper onto the spread at a later time. So I knew it was going to be difficult because none of the stickers would be overlapping because of that white background. And yeah, so I just decided to kind of forego the wax paper and wing it off of what I thought was going to be good, which is probably part of the reason why I gave up on trying to refine this at a later time, because I had already like winged it and I didn't want to pull back out the wax paper and try to work some other things in. So that first step I did was to take that PET tape that I have here with this like rainbow splash. I used about half of it on the top since there was a little bit more room. And then I'm going to use slightly less than the second half there on the bottom to at least give me that same color profile on the bottom, but not cut into my functional area too much. And I have lots of scraps of this that I've used in previous videos and spreads, so I'm going to try to use up those scraps too on the sides here, just to wrap this whole thing in a rainbow vibe. But we'll see. I kept changing my mind on what I wanted to do, so I was somewhat non-committal on a lot of things. So since I wasn't really sure if I wanted to add more to the sides, I went back to what I started, which was bringing in all of these small stickers as more of a rainbow border at the top. And I'm trying to place them nearest the color that they have the most of in each sticker. So like that green lamp is very close to the green area of my rainbow backer, although there's not much green. Then, you know, blue with blue, purple, purple, and so on and so forth. So I'm just kind of pulling things off of this sticker roll and placing it where I think it works best with the color scheme that it matches up with. And some don't really have a color scheme that it applies to, like this brown. So those I'm kind of putting on the outlier areas. or just mixing it in wherever I don't have a lot of one color to work with. So as you can see, the white background kind of makes things a little bit more busy feeling than it could be if it was just like clear stickers on a similar color background. So what I was thinking after I had finished filming and everything was that maybe I could have added some ink overlays on top of the white stickers to blend them into their background. So for example, where they have the blue stickers, adding a little bit of blue ink on top to kind of soften the white border a bit and blend it, I thought might be a really good solution to make this vibe feel a little less cluttery in the end. Because that's how I felt like it ended up. It just felt a little bit more cluttery than I wanted it to feel like, and I know it was because of that white backing. The rainbow really helps to make it look more cohesive, keeping the color scheme in the same family as the background, making it look a little bit more cohesive. So that was helping, but it just wasn't enough with those, bold white lines around everything. And as you can see, I am repositioning a few things, kind of shifting things around, because I do want some of them to be hanging off the edge, so it just looks more full. I don't know if that was really the right move in the end too, because it did cover a lot more of the color in the background. But as I was developing it, that's what I thought might work best to make it kind of feel more collage-y. So again, there's another tip. If you want to do something like this, maybe stick with all the items in line, but also matching up with your background colors. And don't try to overfill the spaces, because I think that also kind of led to things feeling more cluttered when I had things hanging off the edges and so forth. I'm also going to be pulling some stickers from this Happy Planner sticker book that I have. It is an older sticker book. It's called Watercolor Goals. And again, it was one of my favorites when it came out. I think I got a second one because I really liked the first one. And I'm going to try to add a little bit more with that. There again was one of those things where I felt like I could have pulled back, but we'll talk about that once I start laying in those stickers. Right now I'm using a cutoff of that PET tape that I used in the past. It's just kind of like the solid area in between the more splattery edges. And I am just going to do a small strip of it on each edge just to continue that rainbow colorway all the way around the page. And I could have left that out, but I felt like the color was helpful in a sense. So I'm just trying to bring that in, make things feel a little bit more, I don't know, interesting, as I was a bit disappointed with the outcome of my clusters on the top and the bottom. I think we have a good base here, so let's go ahead and trim off the excess. I did not match up those pages perfectly, so I'm going to have to cut this a little bit weird. Also saving any larger trimmings. I like to do that, although again, I feel like this is one of the exceptions to the rule where maybe adding more was not the right move. Go ahead and cut apart these pages and again, finish out some of this trimming. I do like having these PET tape type stickers though, where you get a lot of the same sticker over and over again, like usually a couple rupees at least. And you have everything in the same theme, cohesive, and lots of decor for a really good price. Like usually the PET tape that I choose is, no more than $4 per roll, and you're getting tons and tons of decor. As long as it's a theme that you think you could use in multiple spreads, I think that this is a really good value. So I have trimmed the edges, cut the pages apart, and now I'm just going to try to add a bit more color here on the functional area of the monthlies using some other washi tape I picked up a while back. This roll is definitely from Scotch, so hopefully it's still available on Amazon. That one I know for sure, which is why I bought the pack that it comes in, because I just really liked that kind of soft rainbow theme on this washi tape. And then I think it came with some other ones that are still cute, but this was the one I really wanted. I also love that little touch of like black texture on it as well. So I actually tried to bring that in from the watercolor goals sticker book. It also has some black dot texture stickers that you can, add in and overlay. It really did kind of get lost up here in the clutter of these stickers. So that was kind of a waste, honestly, but I did want to tie it all together and make everything feel like they had a connection in one way or another. So even though the washi tape wasn't like the perfect rainbow colors that you're seeing in the background, that little added black texture, I thought adding that in would kind of help tie everything together perfectly. And I am also ripping them down into halves because, again, I want to maximize the actual functional space that is being used in that main monthly area. I do tend to write a memory each day in this spread, so each box day will have something in it. And I like to, again, keep it functional, cute, but functional. I don't want to cover anything that's going to make my life harder later down the road when I actually need to use this. And while I'm bringing in these little texture bits, I did also add in a quote from that watercolor goal sticker book. It says, "Choose happiness." Just liked the rainbow color scheme, kind of softer. And I put it sideways in the sidebar since I don't really use that sidebar for anything else. Okay, so we're on to the back, and I'm going to bring in once again that like sliver of rainbow trim off, I guess is the best way to describe it, so that it matches the front and, makes everything feel the same. Just trimming that down. And then I've got this piece here that I'll be bringing in on the top. And then I think I'm going to need one more piece here for the bottom. So again, just trying to use my trimmings. I have a little bit here, and then I'm just going to use part of this other one and bring that in to finish it off. There we go. So we got our baseline backgrounds in. And now I'm going to need some large boxes for these currently prompts that I like to keep over each month. There are 3 main categories that I just like to keep track of: what I'm reading, what I'm watching, and then usually what I'm eating is my 3rd category. But sometimes I have more than 3, but for the last couple of months, 3 has been good. So I'll do that, and then maybe look for a couple of other smaller boxes to add in for just some highlights to call out from the month. Even though each month has a memory each day, and there's probably that highlight maybe repeated on the monthly spread, it's just kind of nice to see at a glance, like, this was a month that X and Y happened, and so I just have it nice and bold and easy to see. Don't have to hunt and find it in the monthly area. And just really looking through this book, trying to find something cute to use as those smaller highlight boxes. And I kind of like these watercolor, I don't know, it's almost like a nice square brush had painted it in. So I'm going to try to bring those in because I remember those stickers are kind of hard to use in anywhere else. So we'll try to make this look cute. And I've married those up with a couple of headers. One that says "Fave Moment" and "Love This." So I thought that was a good use of those headers, kind of tying in the colors too that I used for those. I'll call them boxes, but those like paintbrush stickers. And then of course I want to match up the quote vibes that I had on the front. So I'm just going to add in this quote says "Shine Bright" and cut it in half so that I can fit it kind of in this empty space. I do want to bring in some of this washi tape, so I'm just trying to find a good home for that. Maybe I'll put it at the bottom of the brush strokes. I don't know yet. I'm trying it out there on the bottom. I also have all those little cut off pieces, so we'll just try to add those in first and then add in new things as needed. And yeah, we need some more yellow. Just a little bit. Try to add things in where I see the colors. And a little bit more purple. I'm not being too selective on the color stickers that I'm pulling in here, so I'm trying to use up everything that's on that sticker roll as I go, not like skipping over things, so that it'll be easy to trim off and start fresh on the next spread. We got lots of things here, lots of little holes I want to try to fill, so let's see what we can do. These push pins I've been cutting apart so that I can really add them to their specific color area. And although the watercolor goals I thought had a good vibe for this, the colors are obviously more pastel in tone, whereas that PET tape backer was pretty bold and pretty bright. But I think that the pastel tones work well with that washi tape that I added. It all ties together, still got those rainbow vibes, it's just kind of a little bit more softened, a little more subtle. I don't know, like I said, I was having a little bit of a creative stunting, I guess, in the moment. I was just not at my most creative, although I do think this came out cute. I feel like it could always be better, and this one in particular, I was really kind of feeling that. Here we'll go ahead and cut out the holes. Trim the edges. And I think we're looking good. Did I stop here? Oh yeah, no, I knew there was one more thing. So yeah, so then at the very last minute, I remembered I had pre-made these little corner hacks for the split day month days. And basically all I did was measure a white piece of paper the same size as each box and then flipped it up to make a diagonal fold in it so that I can use both sides as full boxes. A great hack, not mine. It's been around for a while, so one of my favorites. And that is it, friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!